Hey, yo, what's up, people? Welcome to the Wild That's Crazy podcast. I'm here at the barbershop with my people, and we're going to have a great episode. This is the episode I've been waiting for a long time, and I'm happy to have you here. So, with my guy next to me, how long have you been a barber, and what made you become a barber?
Oh man, 30 years. 30 years. That's a almost a threefold question. Uh Early on in life as a young fella, my father worked at the barber college. And we would go to the barber college. He was clean up guy at the barber college. And we spit around in the chairs and stay there with him most of the night while he cleaned up. And he would come home with all the tools and all the equipment borrowed. And he would cut our hair at home. And after a while, as we got a little bit older, me and my siblings, we got a little bit older, we said, we're kind of tired of dad doing the little bowl cut, that little one over. Why don't you learn how to cut our hair? And I learned how to cut hair at an early age. That's what I was always interested in. And didn't know if I was going to take it serious, but it was something I was always interested in. That's what made me become a barber before I became a licensed barber.
Okay, my girl Shardae, who's here today, she's not a barber, but she's here to fill in for us. So, see, what made you become a barber? How long you been a barber?
I've been cutting hair since I was like 14. I learned from my brother. So the haircuts he used to give me, like, Doc, you can learn this. So I started cutting everybody hair on the block. So once I did that, it's over 14 years, I'm sorry. I've been cutting hair since I was 14. Okay. But when he showed me the ropes, it was just easy way for me to make money. Then I got older, I went to the manufacturers working in off-brand Chryslers and all that. And I just knew that wasn't for me after my last layoff from the factory. So I came to the barbershop after I got my license full time. And that's what I've been doing for the last 20-something years.
Okay. Meech?
I really just like the art of it. I started out with a woman barber who used to cut my hair, Miss Fleming, back in Ben Harbor, Michigan. And she was pretty good at it. And it just kind of intrigued me. And then once I moved here to Detroit, Tone was cutting my hair. And I was coming here a few years. Then I started going to another guy, and I started seeing the way my guy Wax the barber, the way he was interacting and the money that he was making in it. And I was like, man, this kind of remind me of, some other things that I used to be into in life. It was like, talk about fast way to make money. You always said if I'm going to work, my work got to remind me of the way that I used to make the cash that I used to make. So, and barber kind of reminded me of that. Even though I still work, but barber's my passion. And I've been doing it since I tried it first when I was like 14, got away from it from a long time, went back to barber college in like 18. So I've been here since like 2019.
Okay. Now, like, we come in the barbershop, and on the next episode, we're going to talk about that. But we come in the barbershop, and we see a lot of things that goes on. What is, like, some of the pluses and the minuses of being a barber? Like, what's some of the pluses and what's some of the minuses? Because we see some of these as kids. We see some of these kids that can't sit still. What's some of y'all pluses and minuses? Like, we all come to work, what's some of y'all be like, man, this cool, or I could do away from that, but I'm a barber. You want either go first, or we going to let Thug go first. Then we going to work our way down. We're going to start.
We'll go first. Let me say this. One of the major pluses of being a barber is understand that you're an influencer. You're not just a barber, you're an influencer. You're a servant. You serve the community. And when you have a passion for what you're doing, you do it with passion. So one of the pluses is being able to reach out to help develop, especially young men. That's one of my passions. Especially tuned in to helping young guys, young men, become young men. We raise so many young men right here in this particular barbershop. I mean, from some of the ones you guys see on social media, in the media. Babyface Ray was raised in here. He was sweeping the floor. We influenced him. Shardae was raised in here. He used to sit in the chair and do his homework at school every day. We influenced him. Some of the judges that come through here, the police officers that come through here, the politicians that come through here, some of the influential people, not only do they listen to us, but they take advice from us, and we listen from them. And we're able to interact and put all that together to help influence. In particular, my passion is for young men learning how to be men. Minuses are the ones that get away. Him. I'm gonna say it honestly. We've helped quite a few go on to college, go on to take powerful political positions. We had one in here just the other day that's in a powerful political position that he used to sweep floors in here. But then we got some that just kind of slip by the wayside. I'm not just talking in the community. I'm talking in our own personal families. That's some of the minuses for me. Fifi.
Some of the minus, I'm going to start off there because that's the most downfall. The ones that we reached out and helped, and they still don't want to learn. And we give them our foundation when you always come back, ask us. If I don't know, Tone don't know, Meech don't know, we got brothers that know how to get you somewhere in life. The plus is that we can reach so many young men and young mothers, that's single mothers that come in and ask us questions. Why my son doing this? Why he acting like that? We'll leave up here. We're going to talk to him. We're going to help you out with some of your answers. Because a lot of women coming here with their sons, we always ask, where's the fathers? Well, the father ain't in the picture or nowhere around. They'll come here and ask us, why is my son acting like this? And we'll tell them, your son about to get a piece, or he got a piece. Or sometimes he's just looking for that father figure. So we hear, and some of the young men still coming here today, half of them got long, wild hair. They don't even want no haircut. They just want to see what we got to say about certain stuff in life. So it's pros and cons that we keep up, and we just stand on what we are as real men. We ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. We ain't gonna tell you nothing to make you think like you won an argument with your mom or anybody. We gonna tell you you're right or you're right. That's how I feel.
Meech?
I'm going to start with the pluses. The pluses is once a person sit down in your chair, you have their attention. And you have a chance to talk to them, whether it's good or bad. You can talk to them. That's your best time to talk to young men about how they treat their mom, their siblings, talk about their hygiene. Because when a person sits in your chair, you can tell if they smell, if they're smile or whatever. So most of the time when you sit down with a person and they're foul or whatever, you could, or even like a young man, you just try to teach him about hygiene, how to treat his mom. You ask him about his grades at schools and things like that. And some of the minuses I would say is people are not wanting to, I say it's just mainly our community, like a service, right? You want to look good when you come to the shop. You should want to pay to look good. You should never want to be cheap to look good. Looking good isn't cheap. So if you want to be cheap, you don't want to look good. That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
So Shardae, this question for you, like what's your thoughts on barbershops? Do your sons have barbershops? Have they had barbershop home? Have you had to go through a few? Like, do your sons have set barbers?
Yeah, my son, he's had the same barber since he was a year old. So, like, they built a kind of rapport with each other. Okay, like, they built that relationship. I feel like when my older son, he's 16 years old, when he goes to the barbershop, he feels comfortable to be vulnerable with his barber. Like, you know, when you have somebody to do something such as your hair, like, for me as a woman, like, I know I can't go to anybody. And, like, my son, he feels the same way. And I don't think that is necessarily the haircut. I feel that it's the feeling that he gets when he goes to that barbershop. It's the familiarity that he has with the barber. It's the relationship that he has. Like, last week I took him to get his haircut, and it took him a while to call me back to come and get him. And I'm like, what took so long? He was like, well, it was like we was talking. I was helping him put his speakers in, like teaching him how to Bluetooth, you know, his music, so it can match the videos that's playing on the speakers or whatever. Like, it's just that relationship that he has with his barber, even though, like, I'm not privy to going into the barbershop because I never had to. But it's something that my son cherishes. And I realize that he cherishes that relationship with his barber.
And that was going to be my next question. I was going to ask you, are you the woman that comes to drop him off, call me when you're ready, or do you sit in?
No, just like recently, I've had to take my son to the barbershop just because of our schedule. But I've never been the mom that would have to go and sit in a barbershop with my son, which is sometimes a plus because, you know, that was my son is kind to bond with his father as well. Like they would go to the barbershop together, and that was just their routine. It was something that they did all the time. So not only did he get the chance to find his barber, but he also had that uninterrupted time with his father, which was important to him. So yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Okay, I'm gonna start with Tom. Now I'm gonna work my way down. And Shardae, you described the person that, because what I'm gonna ask Tom is, do he recall his first barber? And what was his first barber experience? And then you just tell me, what was your son's experience? So Tom, who was your first barber and what was your experience?
My first barber cut party?
Yeah.
That was my father.
Okay. And you talked about that.
Was he good? Did he do his thing? Or was it like, okay, we got to find somebody else? When I was coming up, it was Daddy's cut. I remember the first time I went to a barber shop outside of a house and got a barber to cut my hair. My father's feelings for her. But the barber cut my hair so good. And he got you, Chris. And he had me together, and he had a style on it. It wasn't a little one over, a little bowl cut. It hurt my dad's feelings, but I think at that point my dad kind of understood, okay, maybe now it's time. Because I paid for my own haircut. And my dad understood that it was time for me to book on and start the experience and going to the barbershop and socializing with men and being in that environment. So that was my first experience, always my dad. Same thing with me with my kids. I was already a barber, but their first experience came through me. I was their barber. My nephew, I was their barber. So it kind of, traditionally, it was kind of the same thing with the exception of they had a skilled barber another time I came along.
Cut the hair. Shardae.
For me, my son, and of course, I have a 16-year-old son. He's always went to the same barber, but my first experience with seeing someone cut hair and develop that relationship with other boys was my cousin. He is a barber. He's a barber in Dallas. We grew up in a small city in Kansas, so he used to cut everybody hair. So everybody knew, like, Quinn was cutting hair. And I would watch from, like, the window, and I would see, like, all the boys come up and get their hair cut. Of course, as girls, we wasn't allowed to be out there with the boys while they getting their hair cut, but that was my first experience seeing, like, boys actually bond with each other in such a way, like, over something as simple as a haircut. So, like, being a barber is something that I always witnessed, and I always see it growing up as a kid.
See, my first haircut was in the bathroom by my dad and my brother. My dad started off, but then my brother got separation of years. He a little older than me. But my haircut was always the same. Even Steven.
That's why your hair look like that?
Well, we look the same. If I recall, you got just as much hair up there. But
I ain't fighting though.
Well, I fought it for the years. I had a little trick with dyeing and all that shit. But my brother, I had to get to my brother Shannon. He cut my hair in the bathroom. Once he was cutting it, he used to show me how to cut it because he used to cut his own hair. Okay, so he started showing me how to cut hair. And I just messed my own head up. I mean, I had to go to school with some shit on my head that I didn't understand. That you understand. Yeah. So after he taught me and I learned, I started cutting my own hair. But my brother was my first barber. And it was just even low, nice little line, you gone. I ain't never had no long hair, no Jerry curl, no punk wave, no afro, none of that. I wasn't able to get all that. Yeah, it was one cut in that house. And so I started learning how to cut hair. And I still didn't want no long hair. It was just, I'd say my brother taught me experience. My first barber that I paid to cut my hair was DeVille.
Oh, for real?
When they opened the shop. I was D first. I was one of D's clients when they opened in 2000. I was coming to get my hair cut by D.
Well, he was, can we say that's here, the exclusive 1716.
Yeah, exclusive barbershop.
Say that one more time.
Exclusive cuts barbershop, 1716 East Warren, Detroit, Michigan. That's the location he's talking.
But I met D. He started cutting my hair. He was giving me a ball fade or a taper. He was my barber before I started working here. When I started working here, he was still my barber. That was my first and only barber. I didn't have 1, 2, 3, 4 shops. This was the only shop I came in and get my hair cut. Other than at barber school, when you just cut it all off, because they ain't messed you all up. But D was my barber.
After that, Tone was my barber. So y'all can see the difference. Hairline, no, I got a lie. But that's my baby. I love him. But D was my barber. When I came to the shop, D was like, dog, why you just tell Tone you cut hair? It's a long story how I met Tone and all them. But after D found out I went to barber school and I'm cutting hair, he was like, well, man, talk to my brother, come up here. I said, all right. But D was my barber, and I came on Saturday mornings to hear some of his stories, but he was a good barber too. Yeah. Meech?
I started out with a lady barber. Like I said, I wasn't raised here. I was raised in Ben Harbor, Michigan. And Miss Fleming was my first barber. I never knew that a man's supposed to cut my hair till I got a little older, till my Uncle Robert came around. He started giving me them murder ones that. Hold up. Yeah, it really hurt it really bad. But yeah, Miss Fleming, man, she was an aunt of mine too. She used to blend so good, man. She was so smooth and her cuts never hurt it. It was real smooth. And I used to love the way the lady, she, used to play in my hair. So yeah, I did she look. Was she cute? Oh yeah, Miss Fleming, oh, beautiful. Says it already. It's all things. She was a beautiful lady. Yeah.
Did she lean over when she's alive? You really?
And the workers that she had worked in that shop with, even when I was a young man, I always liked the older ladies, because and around that, I was looking at the forums and stuff like that. I was never looking at young girls. Okay, girls, never tree. Hey, they're around.
Hey, but look, like, let's say it's some young guys out there, and all y'all can answer this at the same time. If it's a young gal right there, right now, saying, I want to become a barber. Like, what are some steps? What is the first 2-3 things y'all would tell a kid if they want to be a barber? What's some advice y'all would give them?
Well, the dynamics for going to barber school have changed now. It used to be you could go to barber school with, I would go to barber school. We at least want you to attempt to go to barber school. We don't want this to be something that you shoot from the hip looking at somebody else do it and say, hey, I think I can do that. Go to barber school first. But the dynamics have changed in terms of barber school, barber college. You can't have a family now. You can't be behind on child support now. And that knocked a lot of the young fellas that got into this profession back when we got into it, knocked them out the box. They can't get in now because most young black men got at least one F on their report card. That means one felony already. The dynamics have changed. So my advice would be, listen, if that's your passion, do what you need to do. Try to get you in a sponsor. Go ahead and go to barber school, go to barber college, if that's what you want to do. And it will know if it's your passion, because you got to clean up your background first. That's the way the state of Michigan has mandated. That's the way it is now. That's what you got to do. Now, we'll do everything we can to help you. Used to be at one point in time they had a friendships where you didn't have to have a license or a student license to come to the shop. But they moved away from that. So my advice would be definitely, man, do what you got to do. If it's not too bad, clean up your background, get in the smarts. But they got a lot of programs out there now to help you do that. If this is what you really want to do, go ahead and do it. My advice is this, and you won't become a millionaire, but man, there's a whole lot you can do because there's a whole lot of money to be made.
Anybody else want to chime in on that?
There you go. What I would tell somebody who want to be a barber, first thing you got to have is patience. Patience and faith, or faith and patience. And you have to be kind of good at what you're doing. Because if you don't have patience or faith, you're not just going to walk in no shop and make no money. It's going to come. But you got to have the patience. And you got to have the skill, too. Because it used to be, well, word of mouth. Now is Instagram, Facebook. There's a whole lot of barbers putting their haircut on Facebook. They good. They great. But if you don't have the faith in what you're doing, where you know so many people will come in this door and pay you, or pay you to cut their hair, you're not going to make it. And it's not like you can grow overnight. It's not. It's not too many barbers I know who say, well, I just graduated from barber school. I'm making a bunch of money. It's not going to happen. You're going to work 2 jobs. You're going to be, whatever you're going to be, in a barber. Because you're not going to support yourself off barbering, just jumping out there. You never hit.
I'm going to tell you what he just said. He's absolutely right. Even when I started off, we all probably pretty much started off the same, in the basement, on the porch. we started out cutting family hair, or I'm not even gonna say cutting family hair, experiment, right? On family members' hair. But what you do have to understand about this occupation, and it is an occupation, is that it is faith-based. You don't know if 2 people gonna walk in that shop in the course of the day, or if 20 people gonna walk in that shop in the course of the day. And certainly, skill does account for a lot of what you do. But I'm gonna say this: I don't have to be the best barber. Says I could be the best barber. I would never tell anybody I'm the best barber, but I'm the most consistent barber. If you call me, I'm going to be there. If you set an appointment, I'm going to be there. If you need a conversation, I'll be there for you. And that all works into play with your people skills and what you're doing as a barber, on whether or not you're going to be successful or not. If you're an introvert and don't have a whole lot to say to folks, don't have a whole lot of comments or advice to give anybody, you might as well be at a trucker job. But that's what you need to do. Sit in a truck by yourself, drive by yourself, and be by yourself. But in this here, man, you got to kind of be well-rounded in all areas. You got to, they tell you at barber school, not to talk about religion, not to talk about politics, certain things that you should do is sports and sports. But we cross the boundaries here because we touch a little bit of all of that. And you got to kind of be well-rounded in all these areas. Be ready to talk about and have some kind of advice for the person that's sitting in your chair that just walked into you in your atmosphere, and be able to get that kind of energy to that individual. Person want to walk out of barbershop feeling pretty good. They don't want to walk out worse than they felt when they walked in. Not just from the haircut, but from the conversation or whatever else they got when they came in the barbershop.
Okay, you got anybody else got something to say this?
Just piggyback on what they said. It's about patience. You gotta have patience, and you gotta have a strong chin, because not everybody's gonna like your work. You probably get some leftover work that somebody else has messed up.
If somebody else said you cut him out there,
Yeah, you done cut him and all that. Then you got them black parents who come with Puerto Rican pictures. Yeah, and their fee is getting nappy head. They got carpet hair to look like that, and just you sure gotta have a passion for it and love what you do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
Oh, he's right about that. And lady 2 days ago, she come in once every 3 months with a picture. She has her son that look like this picture. I said, lady, don't you let us while we pulled on the posters down?
Right. Your son is not Puerto Rican.
We're not going to. And I said, and I'm certainly not going to.
Don't come show me a Puerto Rican hairstyle if your son got 1,000 that's it.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And I'm honest with you. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, ma'am, this is not worth it.
Ma'am, this is not going to happen. His haircut is nugget.
Like that. We go play this barbershop game. Y'all just say the best answer. We go down. Y'all just say whoever y'all think it is. It don't matter. Ain't no right or wrong answer with this. Who was the first person to arrive?
Oh, that's
Cece.
Hey, Cece's the first person to arrive.
He stays on this side of town.
Yeah, when I used,
Cece is on this side of town. Okay.
Well, he's absolutely right about that. I'm 40 minutes away, but when I first opened the barbershop, I used to get sometimes 6 pockets hard.
But if I'm mooning, who was here first, Cece?
You and D. That's because y'all want to have breakfast. But after y'all had y'all little argument,
It's my
we ain't gonna talk about that. But
man.
I'm talking about, I just became the first one here within the last 4 to 5 years.
Cece,
Other than that,
it was shop matter was here first.
it was usually would been Abe, then D and Meech come in. But before them, Tone used to come in at 7. I used to be the late bar. I'm coming in at noon.
But yeah, but now, it's C on a consistent basis. He here the most.
Okay. Who is the latest to arrive?
Tone and Meech.
No, why you got to put Meech into this? He can't really say Meech because on Meech's scheduled days, he's here. He's here before.
All right, hey, y'all both come in 10 minutes apart.
Yes.
Y'all come in at lunchtime. They're talking about what's for lunch. I say, y'all ain't gonna cut your hair yet?
Gotta come in on to defend myself because of my vocation, and that's pastor of the church. Sometimes I got funerals, sometimes I got counseling, sometimes I got hospital runs. I got a lot of things I do throughout the course of the day, so I make my schedule fit for the day. So a lot of times I might not come in and defend myself. So said we work this 60, 70-hour week sometime at another job. So I'd be a little tired. I'm on them there old man, he said. Oh, well, on y'all defense, I'll give y'all that. That was good. Both of y'all was bad. Yeah. Give y'all that. Oh, we were wrong.
On 70%, on 30% of the time, yes. But the other 70%, I call y'all. Y'all call me while y'all. Did you order lunch yet? Where you was at? I was up. You say I was up, and he say he was up. What y'all was doing?
And for early.
They be out watching TV. They come in talking about 8 series, then watch, and then
Well, that's because I scheduled my appointments.
talking about
Scheduled my appointments accordingly.
yeah, till you get up.
Yeah, my breakfast before break. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We only treat the barber. I got 2 breakfasts.
But look, other than that, they get here on their time.
And it works.
They work off on point. Yeah, it works. So they usually get here on the time they set their appointment. I just get here early. I just be chilling, watching TV, and be like, y'all with beats. I run oil. That don't count for that.
Let's pass the next question. Let's move on. All right, the next one is, who got the shortest patience when it comes to anybody sitting in the chair, whether it's a older man, or I did this out right, but tall. Yeah, we knew it somebody that can't deal with kids or don't like to deal with kids. That's
No, he'll deal with kids, but his patience is short with everybody. So there's got to be him. This speech, that's a hands down.
I ask God for forgiveness. So, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Me and him going to back, have prayer, and come on back out. After. There's only one barber that been in the shop that had short patience like that, and that was Uncle Carter. Yeah, he's gonna cut the kid hair, but the kid is not gonna breathe for the whole haircut now, cause he's gonna grab it. Kid ain't gonna move, and you go big. So sick, great, right?
Some he did, and I would have to go over time to say, "Oh, you gotta let that." I learned he a kid that keep his kids real still and real quiet. Telling him, man, I be not. So right now, Meech would be the person with the that's what he's. If we talk patience, I've watched only fucking year. What was that about 2 months ago? Your boy Dirty, what's his name? Dirty or Scooty or boy short? Oh, Dirty. What do you think? Look, everything was cool, man. He was cutting his hair, and next thing I know, they argued. And he said, "Man, your hairline don't grow like that. What you want me to do?" I said, "Right, let me do it. They wanted you much. Let me go." And I tried to help him. I said, "Hey, little fella, certainly he's telling you the truth. You can't want a beard that ain't help each other out now when it comes to that." But Mr. Freedom must grab him by the neck and started landing his head up. And the little man, they have no oxygen. I said, "Meech, you gonna have to let that man go, man. That's your boy. You gotta let him go, man. Let the man go and just clean him up and let him on hockey." At the hour, you may think what I say, Meech, give him his money back, just let him go. He ain't gonna come back. Yeah, I don't. He's just the one with the shortest pace. I had told him he owed me once the haircut was in, he still had to give me pay like that.
No, what happened was he said something smart, and he was like, "What you saying, my man?"
Yeah.
He like, now you gotta pay me.
He triggered me. He
threw him easy. He was like a light switch. He like said, "Nigga, I ain't paying." Me said, "No, I pray a lot."
I'm easy straight. I pray a lot of you because he's straight.
What's the next one?
who is the most organized, the neatest organized? That's nice say.
He's all CC and Meech. CC and Meech. I would be laughing at. I would say CC. Yeah, he here all the time. He here the most. His audience should feel them.
I'm not here. If I was here the most, I should be the most messiest.
Well,
all right.
You're awesome.
You're not.
Yeah, I'm a neat person. So the bottom CC would be the neatest.
Yeah,
neatest. So CC would be the neatest.
Okay, next one. Who gives the best advice?
On what topic?
Just anything.
No, it gotta be some.
Cause we all give good advice. You go to pastor with naturally.
You might ask anybody a car. You might ask somebody to do advice. You might ask Meech about some drugs and so everybody.
My that's like
it's like
it was my that's like
just how to
Hey, no, it could be everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, who is the best DJ of the barbershop? When we playing music playlist.
Oh, that's
sir, what?
see, that's a twofold question though. Are you Because you talking to a business, or you talking experience? No, wait, it's the theory one. No, it missed the or is it this out? So if let's say during business hours, we don't have all that cussing and all that. Man, yeah, we keep the Sergio is not Shardae.
We listen to Kurt Franklin. Shout out to during business hours, CCU. During business hours, CCU, they haven't listened to Kurt Frank. Only thing I don't like about Kurt, he got a little blouse. Kurt chained too many blouses in this video.
You sure? Do a RP. But when certain people like Meech walk in, it's about to get gangster.
Oh yeah,
It's no, take your kids home. After out. Well, let me say this: when I first opened the shop, for about the first 2 years, we played all gospel music, but it became a problem.
Yeah.
Because playing all gospel music, that was my flavor that I brought to the shop when I opened the shop. It became a problem because folks wanted to make the shop church.
Yeah.
So anytime they saw or heard anything that they felt was other than churchy, they judged everybody that was in the shop. Oh, y'all played Lil Bow Wow. And Lil Bow Wow said this. Or y'all played Snoop Dogg. Or Lil Snoop Dogg said this. Or even going a step further, past the music, even the movies that we would play in the shop during the shop hours. So I had to kind of change that up a little bit and let everybody know, look, if you want to come to church, come to church. This is not church. Now, you can get some church advice here, but this is not the church. This is not the sanctuary. This is where we work. And it's not just pastor working here. There are other individuals working here. I'm not trying to offend anybody one way or another. We got Muslims that come in here. What about guys that come in here? He's out of by persuasion when it comes to our religious principles of elite. He's a Muslim, but he jailed with us because we're not judgmental and we keep it at a level that we kind of reach everybody. During business hours, we try to keep it down with all that. It's almost hard with how the FCC have changed the regulations and that now. We try to keep all that down with cussing and this and that and the other. We do the best we can with that. Man, but you can watch regular PG movies on TV now. You're always going to catch something. So we toned it down. We toned it down from the strict gospel. I changed that and I let everybody know, listen, man, this is not church. I know at that point I was real before I became a pastor. I said, listen, I understand you guys. And we had one other pastor that worked in here. I understand you guys kind of look to us in that direction, but this is not the church. This is not the church. We are the church individuals if you want church advice, but I don't expect you to come in here and think you going to get a setting every time you come in here, and it's strictly designed for that because the purpose of the church is to reach the everybody's. We want the everybody. We don't just want church folks walking here. We want the non-church folks to walk in here so the non-church folks can get some of our flavor, some of the church advice or some of the street advice that help them keep them out the streets. Beef might know more about street than I do because I didn't do as much in the streets he used to be, and I wouldn't tell his own. I'm just saying.
Always take the blame too. Your church friend. I was just saying, when church folks walk in here in the wrong music, hey, that was man, and they usually side with me though.
Well, the barbershop is it's a social club. It is social club, but we don't promote too much negative stuff. But I have parents come. We got this shop, right? And I have parents come in. I have some cartoons on because I watch them. And they be like, well, my kids can't watch that because they fighting us. And I look at the parents like, so what you want me to put on? I don't understand this part right now. Because they can't watch cartoons, I don't let my kids watch it. But sometimes then I put music on, I don't let them listen to that. And sometimes I'll be like, well, they got to hurry up and get their hair cut and get out here. Because it's life. They're going to go somewhere, they're going to be somewhere, and they're going to have to experience this. Experience is one of the best teachers of life. So they got to have all aspects of ghetto, professional, hood, not hood, upright, downright. Your kids need that.
I got to be uncomfortable to be comfortable.
So, right. So to answer your question, we keep it clean within reason. And in the daytime, I would say that CC is the best DJ. But at nighttime, if you want to hear Glorilla, you want to hear Cardi B, you want to accept. Just heard of these names. I'm not saying. You might want, for that's 2 times no. You turn to Meech if you want to hear something. Want to go harder than that? You turn to Shardae. Shardae sounds. Hey. Other hairstylists that we're going to really see it here. That are they? Shardae got some artists we ain't never heard of before that sing, and they go ham. That was still hours. That's after hours. Not Saturday. But she do put on some pills, so funny.
So let's say this. That's at 17176 East Warren. This is exclusive cute cuts. That is after hours when the pastor is out of the building. All the fact. Don't hustle for what Meech do.
And let me say this. If you make it in the building, you only made it in the building because you're part of the circle. And you know, it's set up. Nobody outside of that circle or this circle is allowed in here. And I never get in there. You stop at the door. What you need? Yeah, we're closed. We're closed. James, you can test everybody. You was there with yourself. That's not supposed to tell. No, my man. No, sis, we're closed. No, what's going on in there? None of your business. Help them. That's why they pissed. It's a closed group of individuals, and you'll probably hear that on the next episode. We're a family, we're a community, brothers and sisters, but we stick together. We don't have outside folks coming into our circle. If you're part of the circle, you would see the exact same faces every time you're in here. I'm talking especially on after hours, because we know how to wipe our feet on the rug when we go home, when we walk out this shop, and what happened in this shop stayed in this. Yeah,
A miniature Vegas.
What happens in the South Side?
Yeah, we teach our young men too to come in with it.
Tell mama, none of this we talk.
Tell your man, if your mom come back in and tell me something that we said. Oh, y'all, we ain't gonna cancel.
no, when you come, you gonna sit you in that corner. You gonna set up with might have some headphones on.
You gonna learn today.
What's the next one?
All right, so the next one is now, then this is a little more serious. And Shardae, you can answer this. What are some things that we could do? Because we always hear about black men and black men being loved properly. What are some things that we, as black men, can suggest to women, and women can talk to us about? What's some things that we could do to make the black man feel loved properly? Oh, but more. No, you ain't first on first. Like, what is you're asking me? I'm asking all the fellas, but she could tell me, and you said to make word. Yeah, you said to make black men feel. Yeah, like what do we love our black man properly?
I think CC kind of spoke to that earlier when he talked about single mothers coming in the barbershop. We have a ton of single mothers coming in the barbershop. Judge Willie Lipston, one of our good friends, he's gone on to be with the Lord now. He used to come in, and one of his things on his platform was the missing fathers in the hall. And we would sit and we would talk. We held forums in here. We held gun control forums in here. A lot of different things we did in the community with him. But in particular, he was concerned about fathers missing. And one of the things that he would enlighten us on, which some of us knew, didn't want to really speak to, is that it's not always the father's fault. A lot of times it's disgruntled mothers. Or I hate to use the term baby mamas. It's disgruntled baby mamas that don't include the fathers in what's going on with the children for whatever reason. I mean, it can be financial, it can be relationship-wise, it can be I want to get back with him, he don't want to get back with me, vice versa, whatever it is. But we end up having a lot of single women come into the barbershop, and it takes a man to raise a young man. I know women do the best they can, but a woman cannot be a man to a young man. I'm sorry, and anybody disagree with me on that, but I'm talking from Bible to reality. I was a single father for years, raised over my children as a single father for years. It takes a man to be a man to a young man, and we need to see that more. So in terms of that, I think that it needs to be more empathy on the part of the child when it comes to the relationship that they have with that young boy. That young boy, we'd love to see more fathers. I mean, it worked for us. If the father brings the son in, 9 times out of 10, he getting a haircut. So that worked for us, twofold. Not only does it work for us twofold at the barbershop, but it worked for us in the community, it worked for us in the home, because there's a better relationship developed with that father and with that son. So that works, it works out better that way. So if you ask me, what can they do? Have a better working relationship, these mothers or these women with the fathers, if you can. Not saying all relationships work that way, and they can, because they don't. But if you can, take the child out of it and look at the relationship, especially our young boys. Once again, I'm very empathetic when it comes to young boys. Make sure that that young boy has a relationship with his father, whether you agree with it or not. If that father's not doing anything to harm that child, man, put that on him. Take your son to the barbershop and get a haircut.
Buying some?
You could sign me and say, what are you some things you think a woman could do to help a man?
I think as women, like especially Black women, we need to allow like our Black men a space to be vulnerable. Yeah. You know, like a barbershop is somewhere where men can go to be vulnerable with other men, but I don't think they find that with their Black women. I think that we need to open up ourselves to allow men to have that space to be comfortable and to be vulnerable. We put so much pressure on our Black men. Like, take your son to the barbershop. Do this for your son. Do this for him. Do this for me. Pay the bills. Don't do this. Don't do that. But when do Black men have a space to come to me and say, like, okay, this is what I'm going through and this is what I need from you? I feel like as a Black woman, we need to be more open to that.
Well, let that out.
I thought so. What if he behind the child support?
I'm just answering. I'm asking when you know what it is. Slow these behind in child support.
I feel like a man who's on child support has lacked in a way that I really can't relate to. I have a son who we call my son to have Mrs. Doubtfire because he's such a great dad. And it's a joke between me and my friends, but he's such a great dad that he's the mom, he's the dad, he's the protector, he's the provider, he's the person who does everything for my son. And I haven't had to experience that with Black men, so I'm not tainted in that type of way. I believe that Black men are the greatest thing on earth. Love my
Both the government divide.
Please. Talk about he's not on child support.
No, because I haven't had a niche to do that. And my father was never on child support because it was always in my life. I love my daddy. Anybody who know me know, like, if I got to call my daddy on you, it's I'm calling my daddy. No. Please be afraid because my daddy is coming. And I call my daddy with confidence to know, like, if I'm picking up my phone and I'm calling my daddy, I know my daddy is coming and I'm calling my daddy for a reason. So I never had to experience that, but I don't believe in child support because I believe child support was like a division for the Black community because it's them systemically, it stemmed from Black women needing resources that men didn't have. So like we went to the government and we got those resources and then that allowed the government to say, well, this man can't be in your house. And if this man is in your house, we're not helping you. So I never seen it as a downfall. It wasn't like that we had to do as women to survive, but we didn't need to. We should have together with the men in our community, and we should have figured out a way to stand strong with them, stand 10 toes down. Let's figure out how we can raise these kids together. Let's figure out how we can uplift our identity. Let's figure out how we can monetize the stuff that we're doing on a regular basis. Like, let's figure out how we can own property and get assets and things like that so that we can pass it down to our families. Yeah. But us as a Black community, we didn't have that because we didn't have it modeled and we followed this trend that was given to us when we didn't.
Shardae, yeah.
You see? Let me ask you this question. I'm sorry, I'm not right. Do you feel like welfare was instrumental? Oh, so I say this now, Shard'e, the friend of the court here is not a real governmental institution. It's a neither arm of the government. So they're not a real government.
Yes, it is.
Well, see,
The government had evolved. They made it government. They made it, yo.
It's a court institution. It's not a real governmental legal institution. The friend of the court is an extension.
So they made it government. What you think most cases is at most courthouses is not?
When you go to apply for a bridge card or even, I don't even want to say a bridge card, but just Medicaid, health insurance for your child. Like something that should be given to a youth very oddly. Pause. Excuse you, said that.
Me too.
Oh, like what? how the government actually backdoored and came in. The government said, if we give you these resources, then you got to give him up.
Exactly.
And we're going to put the pressure on him to go through this agency to make sure that money is paid. And that money, if we're giving you money, that money be in the house. No, well, not you, but that money comes back. Oh, that money that the government is giving you comes back to the government. You don't get some money.
But if we giving you this money, that man can't be in the house. How many broken homes you see, Tone?
I don't argue.
People, when people think they dad is on them, not knowing the government separated their home stuff.
Or how about how many birth certificates don't have daddies on it? Because you got Medicaid when you got that. Or to put some daddy on that birth certificate because they're going to come after him for that money. It's unfair to give something that's a human right, like health insurance, to penalize somebody else to monetize that. But as Black communities, we have allowed that for so long, and it's just turned out to be fine.
City agreements across the board. CC, did you want to weigh in on it?
I was going to ask
This one more time. Oh, we're here to facilitate. I mean,
No, that was good. What can we do to love Black men properly? What are some things that we can do, women can do, or us brothers can do to love each other properly?
I was going to say, first thing is, it's not what a Black man can do to make a Black woman love a Black man. I mean,
I think there's more. That's all right. What can we do to respect the Black? Yeah.
oh, he changed the word there. You respect a Black man. You just said that. James said that. I said that. Oh, wait, what you said, I think is more respect.
What can women do to love a Black man properly? Like, what are some ways or things that a woman can do to love you properly?
First off, is just to get to know who I am as a person.
Okay.
Don't paint a picture of a person that you want me to be. Don't say I want you to be this, that, and that. And when you met me, I was never that.
Yeah.
If you don't love me for who I am when you met me, I'm going to show you all my true colors. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. This is who I am. And if you like who you see, take it. And that respect is going to come right there. Because it's nothing that's eating, or I'm not jumping out of bag, or you doing something different from that. No, you did this from day one.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't pay attention to me, don't mean I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I'm the person who I am to be when you met me. I'm far as me. I'm not changing my stripes or my color. I'm not going to lie to you. I ain't going to sugarcoat shit. This is who I am. Love me for who I am. And the respect, the love, and the care will come when you realize the guy, women, or men, realize the person you're dealing with, this is who you are. I can't change you. If I love you, I don't want to change you. I don't want to craft you to something that you're not. Because now you acting. And that act gonna run out. And now I'm looking at you like, this is not the person you was.
Let me say, let me add to that. What I would say is most of us men, we come from broken homes, right? I wouldn't say everybody. A lot of Black dudes, we come from broken homes. So we ain't had that father around to show us how to love on that one. Like, I'm speaking from my own experience. I didn't have that father figure to show me how to love. Like, me getting with a woman, loving that woman, shit, I learned most of that shit on TV. You know what I'm saying? I like learning how to raise my kids, learn on my kids. I learned that on the fly. All this was done on the fly. Like, just like when I meet some women and, you know, you see when you talk and you see how some things wasn't right, or, you know, after some things didn't work out, you see your flaws, you see their flaws, and you realize, shit, you really didn't know how to do that. So it's not really a flaw. It's something like you didn't know how to love it. You know what I'm saying? You never seen it in your household. You was raised with a single mama. You ain't see no man around. If a man did come around, you on the defensive, nigga, who you here for? Well, you know what I'm saying? I heard use my language, but you know, see, so it's about learning how to love too.
But do you really, when most little boys learn how to love, they got their mama in their life. That's your first love.
You always love your mama.
Yeah.
But it's different.
It's a different love, but because you love your mama, you love your mama. Bad, worse, indifferent, great, caring. You love your mama. But for a woman to learn how to love a man, what's the question was, we can't teach that. I can't tell you how to love me. That's something the mama should have taught. She go,
for who he is. That's who he can be. Or who she
Don't
wants.
love me for I saw you this way. So wait a minute, but I've been showing you I jog and I don't run.
You know what? And
I wake up in the morning and I fart. Now you mad.
but you
I've
know
been doing this since you met me. So don't try to say, well, can you wake up and go to the bathroom? No. I'm gonna put it in his bed. I deal with it.
we're in a lot of relationships now at the internet. Everybody trying to live their life off the internet. Baby, we was living good before you start watching House and that housewife shit and all.
Oh, that's damn crack. That's all.
Yeah, all this fantasy looking.
That ain't real. Since you guys said that, based on the question that he asked, that did the preacher speak on respect? Biblically, the Bible never, and I'm just going to say this, a lot of people don't know this, the Bible never told a woman to love her husband.
Well, never.
Serious, a woman respect her husband. But it said that the husband ought to love the wife. Has price, but I will say it again. Bible never said for the woman to love. Now, love, if it come along with it, man, as brands, as beautiful, that's one. But respect that man for him taking care of the household. Respect that man for being a nurturer. Respect that man for being a priest, a prophet in his home. Respect that man for what he brings to the table. Respect that man. The Bible never tells a woman nowhere in scripture to love the husband. It says for the husband to love the wife, but it says for the wife, in the etymology in the Greek, it says for the wife to respect her husband, sis. And I don't expect. Sometimes I'd rather have respect over love.
It is real. I'd rather have you. That's our babies. It's
Fairly and not disrespect me, other than show me that love. And sometimes it's fake love, and sometimes it's conditional love. Respect me at all times. And man, we cool.
So, Tom, how that we'll say this to this. So that's some of the men that live with their woman that's making more than them. What about that come home and talk that ish? Because they know they make more than them. What does that mean?
That means that the man does not have control of his household. He's not leading his household. It doesn't matter that she makes some more money. It's about how he leads that woman and what they're going to do with that money.
She got good man.
But if they sit down at the table, if she makes more money, man, cool. She makes more money. That means there's more money coming into the household, man. I'm a firm believer that the man should take care of the household. The man should pay the bills. The man should make sure that the household is taken care of. He should be that protector, that provider. I'm all for that. But if a woman makes more money and that man is doing everything he can to make sure that household is taken care of, if you got much here, you got expendable money, why wouldn't you put your money with his money to help build something in this relationship so it's take the relationship to a higher level? That's the man's job. Then now, if you got some women that look at it, I make my money, I make more money, and now we were talking about this before the broadcast came over a little bit. I didn't know the way in over
my money. That's not about that. Women look at it like their money is their money. Your money is our money.
And that's cool. But listen, if you respect that man and you really want to build something in that relationship, what does it hurt to put an extra $1,000 on the table with what he's already doing and say, let's either bank this. Let's go get a bigger house. Let's get a better house. Let's get you a better car. Let's get me a better car. Let's get some better health insurance. Let's get something better because you're bringing that to the table. I'm not asking you to do it. I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of. But my means don't meet, we got more a month than we got month. But if you got an extra you can bring to the table, you respect me enough to say, hey, I see how hard that man is working. Put some money on the table and help that man out.
But that's the word right there, Pastor. You just said it's all about respect.
And right now, we don't live in them times.
Well, a woman may be more paying that much.
If she don't have respect for the man, she make more than that man. That man is just sitting in the house being...
You're the sheriff of a household.
He needs to go ahead and just be a barber.
I would say that. Go here. Talk about that. Talk about what they talking about.
I disagree with that. I've been in relationships where I made more than the person that I was with. I feel like it's just knowing who you're with. You know when you get with a woman, what type of woman you got. You know if she got with you because of what you had. You know if this woman got with you because of what you could do for her. And that's egotistic on a man's part because she might be bad. She might be thick. She might be pretty. She might be this. She might be that. But you overlook the woman who respected you
because you wanted the woman who looked that fit the part that you wanted her to fit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the egotistic on the man. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. You have to, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. You have to find that wife mold that's perfect for you. Because when you get with that person who's perfect for you, you ain't gonna have to talk about money. It don't matter how much money much money. Or you get with that woman who's right for you, that woman is gonna bring that money and be like, baby, we gonna do X, Y, and Z. And she gonna run it past you. She ain't even say we gonna do it. She gonna be like, what do you think about this? She gonna put down here and say, what do you think about this? What if we did this with the money? What do you the church? She gonna get broke ears from last week. Parent. I have an example from my mama and my daddy. My mama and my daddy had an example from their mama and their daddy. Their mama and daddy had an example from their mama and their daddy. I watched generationally my mama and my daddy put on for us. You know what I'm saying? My daddy, he worked his whole entire life. He worked a 10 to 2 shift for the police department, for the city of Detroit for years. My mama didn't have to work. My daddy retired now. You know, my mama get up and work every single day to provide for my daddy because she loves him. Beyond everything else. Oh, right. She loved my daddy. It ain't about none of that. When you find that woman who fits the mold of what God created for you to have, you don't have to talk about money. Yeah. You ain't got to even discuss that. It don't even matter because what you bring into our household is feeding both of us. It's feeding our children. And at the end of the day, what our children see is going to feed their children and their children and their children and their children. And that's how you break generational curses. I don't want to hear that about this woman ain't doing this. That ain't the woman for you. You chose, as a man, you didn't choose the woman who was right for you. You choose what looked good. You didn't choose the woman that God placed here for you. You overlooked that because you wanted a woman with a big booty, or you wanted a woman, or girl. Like, you didn't choose the woman who was over here grinding for your household. Have the children's right.
That's real respect. That's why I said it come down to the woman you pick that know who you are. Yeah.
Boy said high maintenance ass teeth.
It's real.
Don't want to go into no relationship. Well, you think I'm going to tell you all your bills. Since my first time meet Shardae, but her testimony is strong, and the studio audience testimony. I'm sorry, Jen. No. Y'all do it. But then flow, like she said, that's flowing. It starts from respect, though. Yeah, you got to respect your mate, the
You got to know your mate.
You got to know your mate, respect you.
You can't respect nobody you dumb, That's all I'm saying. Don't know who I am as a person, we can't grow, because you're going to be something I'm not.
Hell yeah.
And listen, right here, let me know who I am. I'm going to let you know who I am. Let me know who you are. Let's build from there. Ground up.
Have to choose because women choose men. Men choose the woman that they.
That's right.
We don't go out here and I don't say like I'm gonna choose Cece to be my husband. No, Cece has to choose me to be his wife. So you get to choose.
Boys. Let's tell you something.
Hey, you gotta choose.
He's so record just a little bit on that. I learned from some old men as a young young coming up that men don't do the choosing. Men do the picking. Women do the choosing.
We decide.
It's almost like the lion going after the lioness. She got to let you get it. Because that lion would never overtake that lioness if she don't want you.
We be just.
Yeah.
I'm beautiful, but I loved about coming to this barbershop, and Tone, I told him this before. What I love about coming to this barbershop was always the great energy, the positive people, and most importantly, we talked about God. And it's not everywhere you could go where you could talk about God and men talk about the importance of God, what God means to them. So I want y'all to touch on like the importance of God and creating that in this barbershop. Like, what is God to you guys? Like, who is God to y'all? All of y'all, one by one.
Let me start first. When I first opened the barbershop, I was you call it young buck preacher at the time. And I was privy enough to work with the radio station JLB. I was privy enough to work with artists like Jay-Z. Being around, you guys know that's been around me, know that I used to work with a lot of folks in the entertainment business. I used to do some promotion back here as a preacher. God was so important to me that as a preacher and I was working with these entertainers and I was hanging out with these entertainers, I started feeling like I was the entertainer myself. And I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision on whether, man, God called you to preach. You want to preach or you want to be a promoter? You want to preach or you want to be in the entertainment business? You want to preach or you want to hang out with the stars? I made this conscious decision because I know what God did with me in my life. I know how he turned my life around. I know that where I could be or probably should be. And the only reason I'm not there is because I probably didn't get caught. I did somebody talk like Johnson. I had to make a decision and dealing with the radio station. I shot JLBs to pull up outside on a regular basis. The guy that ran JLBs is a good friend of mine. He would call me on a Sunday. I got Genuine. I got Ja Rule. Gonna meet you at the shop. We got $500 for a haircut. By the times I'm in church, I couldn't even get here. I'd call my brothers. You guys go take care of Genuine. And then that was not their thing. And then, but I had to make that conscious decision. Are you focused more on the limelight or are you focused more on what God did for you in your life? And I chose to take the preacher route. That's how important God is to be. Not just important to me, but to share that with everybody I come in contact with. Right.
For me, like, God is just like the end all and be all for me. Like, I start my day with God. Like, I get up 4:30 in the morning every day. Like, I pray. I meditate. Like, I read the Bible. Me and a friend of mine, we're going through Life for 52-week Bible studies together. Like, we study. But what's important to me is that I don't want, like, a barbershop to be the only place that my sons see God. I want my household to be the first place that my sons see God. Like, I want them to be able to know, like, my mama, she got him and she prayed for us this morning. Like, God is meeting us here. You don't have to go to a barbershop to have the first experience of God. Like, that's just important to me. Like, me and my sons, we get up, we go to church on a regular basis. We, anytime they having a bad time, I'm like, well, let's just pray right now. Like, I stop what I'm doing to pray for my son. I go to my son's school to pray for him if I had to, because it's important that he sees the light of God through me. And he sees the light of God through my family and the works that God is doing for us. But I want that to be seen in my house first. And I want that to be evident in the way that I interact with my family and the way that I interact with people at work. Is like, okay, that's not just her. That's somebody else working on behalf of her. So that's what that is to me. And that's just important for me.
Sarah, what do God mean to me there? The beginning and the end. Yeah. Because without him, like, wouldn't no be me. Or my parents or nothing. I wasn't being creative. But for me, I wake up, I thank God for waking me up. And whenever I don't forget, I'm be honest, sometimes I thank God for letting me die. I thank God for letting me get home some nights where I shouldn't have made it. Like, God, you took the wheel, you guide me, you let me here. You was watching out for this food. Y'all look out for women and food. Shit, where there's food, I know where you is. And some nights I did. Sometimes I woke up in the car with the car running, like, thank you, God.
Detail.
Don't worry about. But if you don't know God for yourself, I would tell you to sit down and pray and get to know somebody that know God to help you. Because a lot of people don't know about God or Jesus. They just, you'll hear a lot of people say, oh my God, oh, thank Jesus. What does that mean? What are you saying? Do you believe in what you're saying, or you just saying because you hear everybody say it? I won't say it just because he might say it or she might say it. I say it why I know I'm meaning it. Like, thank God. Like, ooh, man, that car move told me up. And it was my fault. I thank God for waking me up, getting me started. And I thank God for some of the nights where I know I was low down dirty. And I shouldn't have made it. And I did a lot of crazy stuff in my life. And I just thank God that he kept me. and keeping my family. So we all gonna have trials, tribulations. It's one saying I got. My pain is my testimony. That's all. But
Oh man, how could I cut my hand there one mainly I learned about God from my mom. I was raised in the church, single mom, stayed on me. Wake you up for Sunday school, you fall back to sleep, boy, that hand come down across your butt, boy. You think Jesus in the room when you went. But mine is my mom taught me a love for God. Once you learn, like she say, once you learn you beginning and the evening, the maker and the taker, you have to become a conscious. And I say not a fear of God, would be conscious of God, because like I live my life not in a fear but in a conscious of God. Like I've grown the conscious now as I've got older, which I thank God for, because in my younger days, ooh Lord, what I'm doing.
So you saying your convictions?
Yeah. I'm much better off now because of my love for God. So like that.
Oh, where's that? Well, all right, before we go, real quick, I want to shout out some barbers that came and no longer here. But let's give some shout outs to some of the barbers that was here. Some of the ones that,
like we're saying.
yeah, just shout out some of the ones y'all can think of.
I would be remiss if I did not speak about my two brothers.
Yes.
Matter of fact, three. Three brothers-in-law. Brothers-in-law uncles. Yeah, but in particular, when I opened the barbershop, when you asked me about barbering, and I said that's like a threefold question. One of the reasons I opened this barbershop was because I had one brother who had about 8, 9 kids at the time. Before he finished up with about 13. And in child support, he had a decent job in child support, was taking his money came home with $40 a week. And I said, man, $40 a week. This is what I tell you, but what you go to barber school. And I pushed him and sent him to barber school. And then the next brother, he was younger. He had just got out of the Marine Corps, and he was going through what we call culture shock. If you know anything about culture shock, he had been in the Marine Corps for 5 years, and the Marine Corps, the armed forces took care of. So when he got out, his mind was all over the place. Like, I'm used to having my meals every day. I'm used to a check every day. What am I going to do? I pushed him in the barber school. I said, man, look, if you go to barber school while he's going to barber school, I'll open up the shop with have a family shop scar. And that's what I did. So my brothers initially, and then came an uncle, and then came a brother-in-law, and then came everybody else that became family. And I say this about it because barbershop, everybody can't work here. Yeah. Everybody can't here for it, because we got one person in the studio audience right now to tell you that he'll run folk out of here if they don't fit. He's sitting there quiet right now. He'll run folk out of here if they sit behind the chair here and won't fit. You got to kind of have you gotta have, as Meech said earlier, you gotta have thick skin, but you gotta have a good spiritual sense about you too. Yeah. Just know any or everybody can't come in here and sit behind the chair and sit with us all day. So that was important. Important for me.
Go ahead, Meech.
What was the question again? Up the y'all along with it.
What was the other barbers that was?
I said I'm mainly gonna talk about who I know. Like I used to come in and get my hair cut. I used to see some guys come and go, but mainly, man, is D, man. Man, I missed that guy, man. We used to have some arguments, but man, soon we argue, we probably be at 1, 2 in the morning laughing about it. Be here early in the morning, eating breakfast. Yeah, zebra. And everybody that come in looking at us like we crazy because they saw us argue the night before.
Or boxing.
Man. We get in the gloves. So that's what we do here too. We men here, like, we don't fight each other. We really don't even want to fight each other. We'd rather get in the gloves, wrestle it out or whatever.
out. So yeah, out there. And it's that force. Ain't that count down.
So if you soft, don't come up here. But you ain't gonna be
Don't need to apply at this shop.
Don't apply if you soft up here.
Yeah. Well, to wrap this up, man, it wouldn't be right, and it wouldn't be right. First of all, I want to thank all of y'all for being on the podcast. Thank you so much. This is a dream come true. Thank you to everybody that's here. Thank you for my man Ray. Thank you for man Keisha for showing up. Thank you for Shardae helping behind the scenes. I've been wanting to do this for so long because if it's one place I feel at home and I can let my hair down and I can get advice and I can talk stuff and I can have a good time here. Well, I had hair and I had good hair. You see, son? I had braids, I had a mohawk in here, I had all types of stuff here. Yeah, I had them on those, but I had,
When James first came in here, he had a head full of hair.
oh yeah, I went to 360s, braids, everything. Yeah, I took did that.
Now you're in the family.
But yeah,
But the Lord saw fit for it to expand.
yeah, he knew I was a little sinner for here.
He had to pull some things away from him so he could expand his thinking and put on such a beautiful broad pic.
Hot plus, man.
Hey, y'all, that's that.
You.
No, that's in here of day.
Yes, thank you so much. So let's grab hands.
Wow,
And let's pray with a prayer.
hold up.
Anybody can do it.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Everybody grab hands. Come on, Shardae.
Come on, Shardae.
We should have Samuel.
Yeah, you want to do it? You don't want to do it? Okay, see, I'm done. Oh, that's sure.
Now, this is not conflicting with the podcast.
No. We love that.
This is all about politics and everything.
Yeah.
All right.
I know half of y'all just old Trump.
Bow your heads.
Eternal our Father, we thank you once again for this day that was not promised to any of us, but you gave it to us anyhow on this side of heaven and this side of the bridge. You gave us another chance to get it right. Before we ask anything, we don't even have a right to ask you for anything because of all of our unrighteousness, but we ask you to forgive us for all the wrongs that we have in our lives. Because from last week to this week, last month to this day, from last year to this very day, we made some mistakes along the way. So we asking you, God, forgive us. But we thank you, dear God, for allowing us to assemble ourselves together in this place, making this place a place where we can declare your holy name, that we can declare your holy will, that we can declare your holy works. We thank you for the vision that you gave this man to put this podcast on to help not only us, but help those in the community, everybody that's going to fall under the sound of his voice and our voices, allowing us to be influencers in our community, in our families, in our homes. We thank you, dear God, for all that you've done, all that you're going to do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Let the church say.
Thank you so much. Shardae couldn't been over no more.
Thank you. I love you guys. See you guys next week.
That's a struggle like a mom.